What's up YouTube, this is Akima from Liverpool TCG, and today we're coming at you guys with a premium fight between Oracle Think Tank and Granblue. So, on the left is me, Akima. So, I'm commentating my own video, so...
Yep, and I'm just here as a side commentator. Petraz here, by the way.
Yeah, that's good. On the right, we have Airtanium on Twitter, or it's basically Ayrton. He's playing Granblue, so... These decks are just sort of like some of the top contenders, I think, or what we think are the top contenders for premium, for the inevitable ban list that we're going to get. So let's see how these two decks perform against each other. Alright, so Edson goes first, running Damien the Ghosty, so this is pretty much telling us that he's playing Ghosty, a Ghosty variant, obviously. You don't really see that much.
Yeah, Beatrice is probably the main grade 3 of the deck.
Yeah. But that risk leads those people off, but he's also milling Jesse, so I think he's going to probably try to set up a counter charge engine. At this point.
Well, accuracy is really good for Granblue.
Yeah. Really good.
Well,
he
good plays.
Honestly. So, people might not think, like, why is he calling out the Honolly at this point in time? The reason why is because he's unsure if the Oracle Think Tank deck I'm playing is the OVERTRIGGER loop, stand loop, that you can do with a pistol. And if it is, then the Honolly is going to screw over my entire thing. So he's putting it there just to make sure.
But if it's just the traditional OTT deck with just Murmur restand, wouldn't do too much, but we'll see how things go. Just the beginning turns.
You can also see here that there's a reindeer at the bottom of the thing. That's my quick shield because I could not get one in time. So
the grade 1 order, okay.
I put the 50k shield in. This reveals to him that I have a crit in hand, or there's a crit that's public knowledge. But at that point, I need pieces. So
did get the Tsukuyomi, not bad.
Yep. I think from what I remember, I was also missing the grade 2, so I was hoping to get the grade 2 off that draw trigger. Or off the
oh, there goes the Night Rose.
So now with Night Rose decks like these, with ghosty decks like these, there tend to be a lesser amount of copies of Night Rose. So he needs to check the heal to get that into the drop.
Yep. Well, surely there might be another Night Rose in the deck, so it shouldn't be too bad yet.
Yeah, normally decks run 2, so dropping the Greed Shade.
Team gets the Greed Shade. Pretty
yeah, Greed Shade
typical play.
Greed Shade is a fantastic card.
Very good card. Among there with Columbard.
Yeah. This is the exact kind of, like, these two cards that are in premium are the spine of Granblue.
Yep, so good for the deck. You know, a free tutor in Vanguard would be so good.
Yeah.
Oh, drops.
And he knows the Night Rose, so that's good. So, like, I don't remember any of this, so... Maybe the Night Rose is good, because now I just have to rely on heal trigger to get the Night Rose into bin.
Gets the Beatrice back, after he ditched it, that's fine. Oh, kills the Honolly. Interesting. And yeah, it just goes for a standard turn. Standard grade 2 turn.
I'll take another draw here. He really defensive. These are both of my draw triggers, so I only run 2. I'm checking them both like early on. It's strong.
Very strong.
But also like it hurts a lot. A bit. I think.
It's alright.
It's alright, yeah. On top of this as well, obviously Jesse couldn't hit because I'm 18 base and he was only at a 14k attack. But he still attacked anyway just to get the counter charge off.
Granblue, the deck where you need to manage resources pretty well. Pretty resource intensive deck.
Yeah. They have a lot of cards that help manage resources and stuff like that, but you gotta be also really careful about that. So here, setting up the multiple Tsukuyomi into the Soul, just in case if for example, Ayrton does not decide to ride up in one's first ride, which is something that can happen a lot in sort of in premium. So it's like, just in case if that happens, it's good to ride the grade 3 Tsukuyomi so you can draw a bunch as well and just get your hand as big as possible.
And just manipulate the deck a bit.
Yeah. Talking technically, well, the early game was very trigger heavy for me, so.
And
pretty good, right? But of course, I didn't have many attackers to sort of like help out with the situation.
Yeah, Ayrton losing a piece, but he does go into Beatrice as expected. Gets the probably Protect 1.
Should be Protect 1. Protect 1 is really the best counter for Oracle Think Tank. And that's why this matchup is so, like, I think, thought intensive as well. You have to really know what to do with the protects, because could he go into Memo, or go to each Tom?
Now, does he choose to get the cold board? Yes, indeed. But what does he counterblast? Because counterblasting is very important in this deck as well.
Yeah.
Knowing which cards to counterblast. Oh, it goes for the Night Rovers. Interesting.
That's very interesting too, yeah. I would have thought he would have gone for the Mega Bone. Personally.
Yeah, in case you heal, you can drop it and get it later. Oh, it gets... Okay, fair enough. Cannoneer. Yeah, Cannoneer, in case you in case you do some big rearguard plays.
Yeah.
In the OTT deck of all things.
He knows that I can't Ichi-Tom in first turn, so that first turn is the only time he's ever going to use the Cannoneer off. So yes. That has to be very. He has to know the precise time to do it. To sort of like paralyze my face a bit.
But it's not bad against the Momo turns. That's actually pretty useful.
Mills a Chad and a Storm-Eyed Ghost ship, but now his drop zone is filling up a lot, and that's the first trigger he mills.
Yeah.
So
that is indeed the first trigger.
He has still a lot of triggers.
Does he choose to get shield back, or does he get a piece?
But I can see there's two options. There's either Jesse or Chad the Ghosty.
Oh, he could get back the grade 1 as well.
Yeah, Damien as well.
If he wants a booster of sorts. Let's see, what else does this man do? Oh, interesting. He wants the counter charge back. Not bad.
And he also wants a bit of pressure with Beatrice's skills. So.
Yes.
Mind you, both situations are going to be 3 attacks.
You can call the grade 1 Ghosty, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Another warrior.
Yeah, so that's most of my orders gone, which is a pretty good thing, I think, because I don't want to be checking my my Tom pieces in damage early.
Yes.
And I also don't want to be checking any Amaterasus in damage.
Or checking Amaterasu in damage.
Yeah, 1 Amaterasu in damage means 10 gain crit less. So he checks a crit here.
Is this crit Vanguard power rearguard? Probably.
Yes. So you're checking the Amaterasu there.
Unfortunately. What's it gonna hurt?
No triggers, which is to be expected considering how many I checked earlier on.
Oh, doesn't choose to attack.
It doesn't choose to attack, yes.
Interesting. That's not something you see against RTT. Does RTT need that much counterblast?
RTT is it can be counterblast heavy, but that's usually on the Tom turn, so I think maybe he's trying to stop and try to knock me from 3 to 6. Which can be an option for Granblue. Granblue can kind of do that if they high roll into Bone Arena, but
yeah.
You don't always see it.
Oh, the Momo comes down.
Now, so for those of you who don't know, this Momo is the Premium Collection Oracle Think Tank Stride from last year. This card is incredibly strong. Especially coupled with some of these interactions that I'm going to sort of show you here. For those of you who are new to Premium, like this could be a bit confusing. This bit here is just me thinking about where I want to go into the grade 3, grade 4 Tsukuyomi instead, but then I decide that Momo is a better option.
Especially, this is early game still, Momo is very strong in the early game.
It's me forgetting that I had the reindeer as my quick shield.
Oh, the Calico?
So, the Calico here, it's going to... I have to discard one. I discarded Akizuki. I don't know why I did that. I should have discarded the quick shield, but it really doesn't matter because either one of them are going to discard anyway. So now here, I revealed 2 Amaterasus, and as you can see, I'm going through my deck. I don't actually reveal a 3rd one.
That says a lot. That says a lot. You didn't reveal 3 from the deck.
So, Edson chooses for me to add one of the Amaterasus. I bind the top 2, losing a crit in the process. But I also give plus 20k power and a critical to Momo. 2 criticals to Momo.
This will be very scary.
For those in Premium who are new to Premium and don't understand this interaction, so basically Calico reveals 3 cards from your deck, and if you reveal Amaterasu's skill will go on standby, in which case you bind X amount of cards, where X is the amount of Amaterasu you revealed. And for each Amaterasu you revealed, your Vanguard gets plus 10k and a crit.
Yep.
So now here's the Virtuoso Housekeeper. Not many people know this card actually. This card is a counterblast 1, look at the top 5 and to add any Tsukuyomi card to hand, while stacking the bottom.
Oh, it is an old card after all.
Yeah, it is a very old card. A card that I was playtesting a lot beforehand because I wanted to get to the stack quicker. So Akizuki here,
very good.
looking at the top card on the deck, and I'm putting it to the bottom so she gets plus 2k.
Oh, plus 2k, not as relevant in this matchup.
Not as relevant at all,
the
no.
power gain from Murmur would be very good.
Yes. A lot of this is offset from Momo.
Yes.
So I just got Amaterasu.
Is he forced to use the PG?
We'll see. Okay, so here I make a not really much of a misplay. I just got a heal, then I realized, hang on a minute, I need to keep that heal. Yeah.
It's a quick shield.
Yeah. So a lot of times I forgot that I had the reindeer quick shield. So this is are we standing to, if I'm correct, 27 plus 30? 57? This is 77.
Yes, 77.
So I check a crit.
Whoa, critical.
And
yep. So
I actually give the power to one of my rear guards. Nothing. And then check a heal trigger. The heal trigger is not what you want to check. You'd rather check the crit, but you know, heal's a heal.
Yeah, it's still good.
Yeah.
Now you're not as in much danger if Ayrton decides to a triple crit next turn.
So now Momo's is plus 10k for each card you discard. Applies to the whole entire front row. So yeah, I'm sorting it really slowly because there's a dice on it, but you know.
It's a typical Momo play, you know, just swing twice with Vanguard and see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh,
so now he decides to not risk it. So you have the double PG. A lot of the times this is pretty much a double PG check. I check another heal.
Whoa. This man is trigger sacking like a god. 3 triggers and 4 checks. That's
yes, actually incredibly lucky.
pretty good.
Especially that this is not really a stack heavy kind of focus, because if you use Amaterasu, or if you use Calico, you're going to ruin your stack.
Now does he go for Cannoneer or just take... Oh, loses a Skull Dragon, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, the Skull Dragon is going to hurt a lot. Granblue premium decks tend to run 3 Skull Dragons instead of 4. So here I'm using the Amaterasu skill, discarding the grade 3 Tsukuyomi, and adding the Silent Tom. So now he knows that I have a bullet for next turn.
Yep. Just need to check some good crits, and it's most likely GG unless Ayrton can find a way to make some resources back.
Yeah. It's really difficult too, considering that OTT is at 1 damage.
Oh. Yeah, even triple crit won't do much.
Yeah.
Oh, the Dragon Jeeger. Okay. Mill 2
Skull Corpse, and it was pretty good. King Serpent is one of the more underrated cards in Granblue, but it's a really, really strong card.
Very strong. For what it gives you as resource-wise, very nice.
Yes.
On-demand countercharge is always appreciated in any deck.
Yep. So he goes into the dragon for 2 reasons. The reason why is because he's not going to be able to use heals ever after this turn. And also because he wants to be able to call 4 of the Obadiah. So, with the hit to Temperspear, Granblue doesn't have a very good way or efficient way to sort of... I'm here just flipping over Tsukuyomi because I forgot to do that. Remember? All Korean players forget. Don't forget. You'll get caught. You'll get judge called.
It's not the biggest issue. Sometimes if you forget, it's more of a detriment than anything
That
else.
is true.
You always want to be a couple of GBs ahead.
Yes, especially with some decks might require GB too,
Yes.
which is a big focus earlier later on in G.
Not so much now in today's meta. We just V standard plus really, but there's some cases where you need to GD for some more spicy plays.
Yeah. Hopefully some spicy plays that we'll show later on in our channel.
In this case, this won't be as a spicy play. Probably one of the more common Granblue plays. Are you going to Obadiah, or does he have a different sprite?
Yeah, he's thinking a lot. Considering that his drop zone is pretty fat already.
Many key pieces already in there. Probably missing a Skull Dragon and a Night Storm, I believe.
Yes.
Grenache as well if he wants more countercharging. Let's see. Oh, Gal?
He goes into the Bad Bounty.
Yeah, I'm not Galleon. Bad Bounty, Bad Bounty. Yeah, these ships look so familiar, so similar.
They really do.
Oh,
Calls out Jesse. So the added benefit of having like a ghosty Vanguard is that you can countercharge a Damien as well.
Yes. Very nice. On attack countercharge.
It's pretty good.
Sometimes a bit better than Grenache, depending on what you need.
Yeah.
Oh.
Crit. Because the crit to the Vanguard. And the power to...
Or Jesse. Right now the rears aren't that big. Probably will rewrite into Night Rose.
It's 16 and 14.
For the additional power. Yeah. Okay, making 26. That's alright. Vanguard. Oh, slightly dry.
Takes the Canvegas and Tetramegas. Pretty dry there as well. That's to be expected though.
Very expected. Oh, aggressive. Ditches the 30k shield. Okay. Which is fair. Won't need it against the... Well, as expected, goes into the Night Rose. Just to power up the rear guards a bit more.
Yep. So now the rear guards that don't hit too big, they hit a lot bigger. So this instead of being 16, it would be 36.
Is it 26?
The trigger for the 16. So,
oh yeah, true.
So I go into Bavara here to draw 1 and to reveal top card. It's Tsukuyomi, so it doesn't really matter too much. but it gives an extra 5k shield. Normally you go into Bavarock because you want to draw one.
Yep, definitely the draw is important. Gets you a bit closer to the stack.
Yep. I go into another G-Guard. This time going into Amaterasu. I know that I have Tsukuyomi at the top, so I don't mind it. Now over here is a bit tricky. If I remember correctly, the card I checked from Amaterasu was a critical trigger. And the reason why I put the critical trigger to the bottom is because I was worried about how many critical triggers were left in deck. So, him thinking that, oh, putting it to the bottom, it might make Ayrton think sort of like, oh, okay, that's just another normal unit that he checked. That means it's probably not going to, that means it's just like, so he can sort of account for that. So it's just a bit of mind games that you can do.
Typical, typical OTT mind games.
Yeah.
Ever since the old Tsukuyomi days. Oh, that's okay. So you want to get the Grenache out of deck. Looking a bit low. Need some of that CC. Ooh.
So it doesn't just Skull Dragon.
Interesting.
So he mills the Skull Dragon, that's good. Because now he's guaranteed to at least have one in bin.
Oh, I'm interested to see what he brings out. I don't think a Skull Dragon would be very worthwhile. Yeah? Oh, but he does it anyways, okay.
Then he soul passes one for the Beatrice skill. And it's chooses to call out.
This is me call out. Oh, okay. Damien.
Thinking to sort of boost damage.
That's fine as a booster. Well, does he bring out the Great Shade for cards to look?
Families have a lot of options with this kind of stuff, so sometimes you gotta use the battle phase to sort of set up for next turn.
Yep. Okay, Damien for the Beatrice. Okay.
Damien won't countercharge because it is a boost. It's boosting, so.
I mean, it's a Nightmares Vanguard anyways. There's no burst.
That is true as well. Yeah. That's also another thing. Yeah. So I go for the third time this time.
Oh.
Speeding up GB, which is not really important in Oracle Think Tank, but using those heals, why not?
Unless you want to use the fancy GB8, which is not that good either.
Yeah.
Oh, the Night Storm. But a heal?
Now that heal is very important. Because it not only puts a Skull Dragon into bin for the next turn. Oh, I just have to take this actually, yeah.
I would. Do you?
Yeah, I think so.
32. Yeah.
Actually, critical. The defensive here is not that good.
Fair enough.
No,
probably rather keep the crit in deck.
Yeah, so there's Calico gone. I look at the top card, and I put it again to the bottom. This one's not a crit, I'm pretty sure. I think it's just whatever. But the more I put things on the bottom, that crit that I put earlier on the bottom gets quicker, gets much more closer to the top.
Gotta keep going through the deck.
Yeah, I think this next turn, I'll get really close to deck out.
No, I mean, how many cards were soul charged? How many cards, like, you went through? How many cards were drawn as well?
I'll take it, pushing myself up to 5 here. So now this is incredibly scary. Yeah. Because this Itchy Tom turn has to deal him 4 damage in order to win. There's 4 cards in hand, so it's not much, but that null can guarantee to stop at least 1 attack.
It might be worthwhile to go to Momo, actually.
Yeah. Seeing it now.
Power might be very worthwhile, just to punch through.
But no, I go into Ichikishima.
Yep.
But I think honestly, I could have actually gone to Momo here.
You know, a guaranteed attack isn't the best if you don't know what your stack is like. Really? I believe you might be a couple cards off from the stack you know.
Yeah, I don't think the stack at that point didn't really matter too much. Because I don't think I had anything in the stack. Also because Calico earlier on in the game
shuffled as well.
Shuffled the deck, yeah. So that's a big issue when you run into Tsukuyomi and you're playing Calico in the same deck, is that you will shuffle the deck. But it's not bad as well, because sometimes the stack is really good and you want to like actually get to the first well. So here I don't actually use Ichikishima skill to draw 2, because I'm very close to deck out. And I go straight for the Ichikishima swing.
And he takes with a crit on top. Does he give it to Vanguard?
Yeah, I give the critical to the Vanguard.
Oh.
And I think this turn is actually pretty big. There's nothing. And then the third trigger check is an over trigger.
Oh.
So now, essentially what this means is that I have now two chances to get a critical trigger. From what I remember, there was 2 critical triggers left in the deck, and there were 5 cards in deck.
Oh, no over trigger either, okay.
No trigger, yeah, no over trigger there, but he does check a critical, and that also puts him a bit higher. Shouldn't matter, because the Tom still can hit, and he has no intercepts. And here, that was the attack that needed to get check crit. Yeah, you can just null.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish I played stands, because you know, random stand and just stand the silent Tom. So now.
I think RTT stands aren't the best.
Yeah. They're not the best at all.
To the overall deck, it wouldn't have done too much. But now it's a deck out game.
Yeah, almost. Actually, I don't think it is even his deck out game. This is something you don't see much in much actually. A deck that's being closer to deck out than Granblue. So
I mean, this variant of Granblue didn't look as much.
Yeah.
To be honest. It did very typical plays. The Columbards,
yeah.
Obadiah as well.
Relying on Columbar to sort of like get your mills and stuff like that, even though it's a hard once per turn, you can do it essentially maybe 2 times before you can Obadiah. So yeah, I put my O-trigger just over there because why not? So here, he has 11 cards in deck. He's completely fine. I had 3 cards in deck, and I also... This situation is very, very difficult for me, because I obviously can't take anything. But, as well, I have to make sure that the Silent Tom stay in the field.
Yes, otherwise...
Now, I remember Ayrton mentioning this to me, actually. He's in a bit of a predicament here as well. His Bad Bounty turn is not going to be as pressurizing as it normally is, because there is no other Night Rose in his drop.
Yes. So I guess you're relying on the Beatrice.
Yeah. The Night Rose is actually the damage. A lot of people will use that as an argument as to why they would run more Night Rose with the Beatrice, but you know.
I mean,
they're both good cards in there.
In this build, yeah. In this build, you can afford to run more Night Rose. It's not that space heavy.
So he soul charges the Samurai Spirit that finally came to English in the recent revival selection. There's a few funny things you can do with that card.
Yep, the old Superior Ride back in the day in like BT2 or 3. So what?
Yeah. That's something that I'm going to be trying to do, but that will be definitely improved upon later on. So here, I just go 42 against the 27. So he checks
Oh.
nothing, completely vanilla. But also checks the second Night Storm. So these cards he can ditch as well because I need to keep the Silent Toms out because I know that I have one sound. I have another extra Silent Tom in hand. So even if he kills one, I can call down the other, and he can guarantee to stop one Silent Tom attack. Then if I go into Ichikishima again, it's game over.
Yeah.
I think Oritex also brought up a good point actually after the video and stuff like that, or after the fight. He mentioned that I don't think I would have had enough Oracle to do the Ichikishima,
Yes.
and actually I pretty much agree. Yeah. So I was trying to survive, but I'm not too sure if I was going to actually be able to finish him off.
I mean, there's not many RTT strides good for the situation.
Mm.
But we'll see. Is he into Nightstorm? Well, but the Nightstorm doesn't hit as hard.
Yeah.
11k is not what you want to see against a 12k base. Okay.
He's thinking if he should multi-attack or if he should go to focus on one big swing. He knows that I still have a null in hand from the first drive check actually.
Yes.
So I think that's what he was mentioning a lot during the battle. During the fight. He was unsure if I ran 2, but he saw the crit sentinels and he saw them twice. So I think he saw them once at least, and he would have assumed that I'm running 2. A 2-2 split.
It's 2-2 split. Pretty common.
Pretty common, yeah. Which is correct as well. Here I was running 2-2 split. His deck is small, but at this point it's not going to matter too much.
Yeah. That's like 8-9 cards in deck compared to 3 cards. That's
yeah. So this actually takes a while. He has to really think like, okay, he needs to check an OVERTRIGGER in order for me to like live, in order for me to guarantee kill.
yes. Must be.
However, because I have 9 cards in hand, I have to make sure he has to bring me below 3.
Oh, still gandering.
He was thinking whether to go into Nightstorm or to go into, and he goes into Nightstorm, which is actually very interesting.
Yeah, the power is not that great here. Columbo at 9k, Beatrice 12k, Nightstorm 11k.
Yeah.
And
so the Columbine
their triggers are checked and these lanes are not hitting.
Yeah. So as it stands, I could assume that he was going to try and swinging against the Silent Tom. But at this point here, the biggest issue about this is that if I use the PG, I will not have enough. If I use the PG to guard this, I won't have enough to guard the Silent Tom or a potential OVERTRIGGER, because Ayrton has actually checked his OVERTRIGGER yet. So I go 2 to pass for OVERTRIGGER, and he checks it.
Yeah, he checks it, yeah.
We did mention a lot that was OVERTRIGGER for game, and I was like, okay, yeah, if he gives the 100 million to Vanguard.
Yep, and the crit as well. Does he draw 1 more?
I'm not sure.
Heals, okay.
Yeah. But it doesn't really matter, because
Yeah,
I was out of heals anyway. And that's it for the game, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
The hand is pretty stacked for sure. But it was that drive check that really sort of like decided the game. You already had an extra crit as well, so that would have been pretty scary.
Needed,
but, you know,
on the Rigor Tom.
Both of these decks are pretty strong in the in premium. Granblue especially so.
Yep.
But well, thanks for staying for the entirety of this video. It's a 34-minute thing, so yep. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more premium fights and more Vanguard fights. Peace.